Yay! Hi, Facebook family. Hi, YouTube family.
Hello.
Welcome back to the S.I.T podcast. I am your host, Sabrina, and of course, I'm going to have the other host, our special guest host, introduce themselves. Thank you for joining us tonight. As you know, we had just a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're running a little bit behind, but we are here. We have some good stuff for you. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm going to turn it over to Michelle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle, the Golden Link.
The Golden Link.
Golden Link. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Recognize. No. I just want to thank you guys for all tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We all are so thrilled that you are rocking with us on a weekly basis. That means so much to us. Shout out to my mom and my hubby who's watching. I heard she loves the show, guys.
All right.
So, yeah. And then shout out to the rest of our family and friends, again, for always joining us. And I'm going to turn it over to Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know about the way you said that.
Terry.
Well, she's going to miss me because, we have some announcements a little later on. I'm going to miss her, too.
Aww.
So sweet.
But we're here tonight, and we're going to give you a very special program, as we always do. And again, there's going to be some surprises tonight.
Yes, you are in for some surprises. We are going to turn it over to Natasha. Hi, Tasha.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Facebook family, YouTube family. As always, I'm happy to be here. We've been talking about future plans, and I said, well, I was the house guest that never left. So thank you for having us and being patient with us and watching us. We love you all and love all the feedback we've gotten from you so far.
Yes, and keep it coming. Well,
All
we'll
the
talk about that
feedback.
later. Facebook family, YouTube family, we want you to interact with us today. And again, like Terry said, we have some special announcements coming up. But hey, Ra, hey, Grammy, hi, Arthur, hi, May Poogie. My family is on tap. Right. Just need y'all to know that.
That's right. Yeah.
And so is mine now.
So is Michelle's. I'm sorry. And Terry's too, and Tasha's too.
But wait. I do must say, though, we can't see everybody that's on.
Right. So for those of you, if we didn't shout you out, that's because we can't see you, but we know you are there. We love you. We are so grateful that you have joined us tonight on the S.I.T podcast. So, Michelle, tell us what's coming up. What do you have?
Well, wait a minute now. Just wait 1 second.
She said, hold up.
Hold up.
Well, basically, we have a special guest with us. His name is Kyle Little, and he's running for Congress, but he's going to talk to us in great detail about what that means, as far as the primaries, how important it is. Just to briefly mention the election coming up for New Jersey, because we are in New Jersey for the governor race. Mikey and her opponent, Citarelli Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I'm voting for Mikey, of course. I'm a Democrat. So
I'm not.
We all should be.
Yes. At this point, and we need to talk about that. Like, you have to vote. You can't just sit it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we got to. It might not be your candidate. I mean, our candidate was Ras Baraka, but again, he didn't make the primaries. That's why we're saying that the primaries are so important, because then your person is not going to be there when it comes time in November for the general election, which is November 4th for the governor. That's why voting is important. So that's it on that.
You're 100% right.
And then October, we will be away. You guys know from last week. We're going to spend some time with our family and work behind the scenes so that we could bring the show back bigger and better. But please continue to interact with us, watch the reruns live, so our previous episodes, in case maybe like you missed the episode, or maybe hopefully you guys heard me. If not, watch it again and just turn up the volume. So maybe you can watch some of your favorite episodes again, or maybe you missed the episode. So again, we really, really do appreciate you tuning in every Monday. That means so much to us. So in October, since we're not going to be here, just a few reminders. October starting every Monday in October, it's going to be bully prevention. So the schools will wear blue to remind everybody that that's not good. I don't know whatever happened
Don't be a bully.
Yes, I don't know whatever happened to just having good character. Because if you have good character to begin with, integrity and things like that, then you wouldn't be a bully. So, so they're gonna focus on that for October 5th to 11th. It's mental health. Mental illness awareness. So, that's important. We talk a lot about mental health here. And then the entire month of October, again, is breast cancer awareness, as well as a slew of other things that you could Google.
Yeah.
And so people wear the pink for October for breast cancer. And that's all I got for right now.
Right. And so I just want to talk about Kyle a little bit before we actually bring him on. So Kyle,
Ooh.
from what I understand, Kyle Little, running for Congress, right? A little bit about your background. Fitness entrepreneur,
Yes.
educator, congressional candidate. And what you stand for is what I really love. Protecting women's health, reproductive rights, improving education, fighting for the middle class, and fighting against fascism.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. We got to give him a hand clap
Yes.
for that.
So with all of that under your belt, which is amazing, and I just want to say thank you for fighting for the American people, because we need more fighters out there. But I'd like to start out with asking you about your personal journey before we get into the congressional.
Okay.
What inspired you to move from fitness and education into politics? What was that brought it all together for you?
In a nutshell, Trump got reelected.
Oh, drop the bomb! Drop the bomb!
Wait a minute. Where's that at? Where's that?
I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's it on that name. We want to come back in June 2026.
I mean, I can elaborate a lot more, but yeah, I would just say after that, I mean, election night, I felt sick to my stomach. I felt nauseous.
Right,
I was
right.
just like, I can't believe this is happening.
Right.
But a few days later, I called my best friend. I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. Like, so.
Yeah, that's important. I wanted to say that. So when you see a problem, you be the solution for the problem. I really appreciate that. And I just want to shout out to Montclair State University.
Yes.
We are alumni. So
Yes.
yeah, okay. But go ahead, continue, Kyle. I'm done.
Oh yeah. So I that was pretty much it for me. I was like, if had Kamala, I already wanted to do it. Not necessarily wanted to do it, but I've had a lot of people saying, Kyle, I feel like politics is your calling, because you're so outspoken on what you believe in. And, I just believe, I mean, not everybody's going to agree with me on everything, but I believe that I'm fighting for righteousness. I'm fighting for dignity, integrity, all of those things, all of those qualities that we're supposed to love and have and aspire to have. But, I just want to fight for the people and fight to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And right now, everything that's going on in our government is wrong.
Right.
It's not one thing right.
It's
Since
wrong.
this administration's been in office, I just be like, Dad, go
Right.
on. If we get one thing
You
right.
can't close your eyes fast enough when
No.
something else
Yeah.
ridiculous is sprouting its,
Right.
its ugly head. So what would you say, if elected, would be your first course of action? What do you feel out of everything you stand for is the most important to deal with, to tackle first, if you will?
Well, I actually just put a post out on that. The first thing will be, and now everybody loves those stimulus checks. But this will be, so it's called the Democratic Relief Act. That's what that's the first bill I'm gonna propose when I get into Congress. And it's it would give every working family, every household that makes under $200,000 a year, a stimulus check of $5,000.
Right.
Now, unlike the COVID,
Trish, we can't see Kyle on the screen. We want to
oh,
see
no,
him.
that's great. Yeah,
He
I-
better
you
put
know what
him
I'm saying?
down. There he is. Yes. Yeah. So go
Is
ahead.
that the camera right there?
The cameras is
It's right-
all over. I'm
Okay,
the
they're
same
all
way,
over.
Kyle.
All
Like,
right.
do I look
Right in front of you.
Oh, okay, all
everywhere?
right.
Yeah, just
But
you're
you're on the
good.
screen now.
Yeah, you on the
Okay.
screen. As long as you're on the
So,
screen.
so go ahead, Kyle. That was interesting. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying it will give every family that has a household income of $200,000 or less, which 90% of American families do, make under $200,000 a year. They would give them a stimulus check of $5,000. Now this would come from, of course, taxing the extra.
I was
wealthy.
going to get ready to
You
say.
know, we want to
Thank
tax
you.
those large corporations, so that way we don't have instant inflation as soon as people get those $5,000 checks. You know, because if you tax these large corporations 15 to 25%, that'll be 150 to 250 to 200 billion dollars that go back into the economy.
Right, right.
You know, so that's what we want to really. And if the rich was paying their fair share,
Yes.
you know, we wouldn't all be suffering the way we are right now. So you see, and you see, it's crazy because you just see all of these big leaders of these big corporations, whether it's Jeff Bezos at Amazon or Target. You know, we had to cancel Target, but you just see all of these billionaire companies and these owners, you know, bowing down to Trump, you know, kissing the ring. And meanwhile, us small business owners and working class families are suffering, you know, because the prices of everything are going up. So that'll be my first bill, but I have a whole lot. Like
I
have
bet
a,
you do,
a
Kyle.
whole
I
lot
bet
more
you
to
do.
say.
That's good.
I can imagine. I
I
can
love
imagine.
that. I'm so happy that he's
Yeah.
running.
Tasha, what's your thoughts? Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you want to ask Kyle?
Yes, I do. I saw your video, Kyle, and thank you for putting your boots on the ground.
Yes, I was thinking the
my
same
journey.
thing.
Wait, Natasha.
Let
hold
me
that
tell you,
thought.
I'm
Hold that
so
thought,
proud
Natasha. Do we have
Go
the
ahead.
video?
Boots on the ground. That was a real.
Yes, that was good.
We'll
Is he gonna
cue it up
play
in
it?
a minute. Go
Oh,
ahead,
okay.
Tosh.
And
Okay, go ahead.
so I
Sorry
want to
about
say
that.
thank you for having the courage. And like you said, if you can't be part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I actually
right.
thought I was going to go to school to be a politician. I was going to law school and then get into politics, and then I turned into a therapist. So God had me for another calling, right?
Yeah.
To keep everybody's mind right so they could vote.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would like to hear you talk about is education reform.
Yes.
Because it definitely, we talk about, especially in our communities, inner city communities of color, the prison to the
Marginalized, yep.
pipeline, especially for our young boys.
Yep.
So I would love to hear your thoughts on education reform.
Absolutely, and I think that just comes with investing more money into minority-owned, well, not minority-populated areas and school districts, because New Jersey is in the top 5, in education across the country. But we know that places like Newark or Trenton or Atlantic City, school districts like that, even actually some of them here in Union County. You could talk about Linden and Roselle and Elizabeth.
Plainfield.
Yeah, Plainfield. I remember even when I was back in high school, my mom was like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna make it into college. You from Linden."
Oh, goodness.
So it was like, I had to-
And Lincoln was the good town.
I don't know. They had some of the worst test scores. I mean, it's not they. I should say we, because I'm acting like I'm not from there. We had some of the worst test scores, in the state of New Jersey coming out of Linden High School. So my mom was like, "Oh my God, you're not doing good on these SATs. You got to make sure your GPA is good because you're not even gonna be able to get in no colleges." And my mom's the educator, so I come from a family of where my aunt. So everybody, all my aunts, my mom, they all worked in education. So it was like always harder for me because I had all of that pressure on me.
Right.
But I ended up being the first man on either side of my family to actually graduate with my college degree.
Yes,
But we definitely need more investments in our school systems, because if you just look at some of these gyms. Some of these gyms are the cafeteria.
Yes.
You have the gyms, the cafeteria, and the auditorium all in one.
Yeah.
You don't see that in these predominantly white school districts, where people have a higher income.
Yeah.
And I do want to.
Kyle, you right on track. I'm sorry, Michelle,
No,
but
I
that
just was
goes
gonna
right up
say,
my alley.
In Newark, they are improving the school systems. They are. So
Absolutely,
the scores are rising.
Right.
Shout out
So
to
I
my
just want to
doctor.
shout out to that. Yeah. So
Right. But Cal, that's right up my track, because given that I'm a psychotherapist, I would love to see more social emotional programs in the school system, not just the academics. And I'm from New York City. I'm Sabrina's cousin. cousin, but I stayed in New York City. I didn't head out to Jersey. And when I was looking for schools for my children, one of the things they thought I was crazy because I come in there and I'm very highly educated. But the first thing I asked, especially when my son was going to school,
Which
do
is
y'all
real
have a
important.
gym? Do y'all
Right.
have
Yeah.
gym class? And you would be surprised how many schools in New York City in our neighborhoods, the good, even the good top leading schools like eliminate gym as a class. And I was like, you guys got to be kidding me, And
Yeah.
so my son did not go to a school that did not have gym for a period because he's a little boy. He would have been bouncing off the walls in the
Yeah.
classroom.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
need
So
that
I'm like,
outlet.
you
Yeah.
have that right that you mentioned that as a resource because we take for granted how we could teach the kids to be robots. We could teach them academic, but if they don't have social emotional skills, they won't survive in this world as productive adults. So thank you for that
Absolutely.
one.
Yes,
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 yes, yes. I
yes, yes.
love that.
That's
I love
wonderful.
that. Oh my goodness, a lot of good stuff, right? So I'm going to ask you one more question because I know one of the things you're passionate about is healthcare and women's right. And as I'm sure you know that black and brown women or women in marginalized communities die at higher rates because they
Absolutely.
don't get the proper health care that they need and deserve.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell the audience, tell the Facebook and YouTube family, how do we combat that? At least start to combat that.
Well, I think one thing is education. That's one thing. Just because, like for instance, I just had a walk for sickle cell yesterday at my company. Of course, I'm a small business owner too, so I can pretty much hold programs. Whenever I want to. But I try to educate people on sickle cell because if you're not black, usually you don't black or brown. Sometimes Indian people could get or Indian, Pakistani, those people could get sickle cell anemia as well. But as black people, we know about it all too well because I've had two cousins who passed away from it back in the day,
Right.
and I still have cousins that carry the trait for it.
Right.
But now I feel like we are more knowledgeable of the disease, and but it comes to also educating other people who are not black, because white folks, it doesn't apply to them really. Less than 1% of sickle cell cases, less than 1% across the world are of people, Caucasian people. So, so yeah, that, and then when it comes to women's reproductive rights, it's also just educating people on the severity of it. Like black women, 3 to 4 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women.
Yeah.
But in this state of New Jersey, 7 times more likely. And we always think, even when it comes to politics, like, okay, New Jersey's good, it's a blue state. I'm like, we have a ton of systemic racism right here in the state of New Jersey. So, and a lot of things that have to be addressed. And I feel like a lot of people in politics, they feel like they're scared to say it because God forbid a black person bring up racism or something like that, or bring up systemic racism, then you're told, oh my God, you're race baiting or whatever. No, these are just the facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Just present the facts.
yeah, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I
love it.
I'm trying to run for politics and present the facts. And Republicans can't debate with facts. I mean,
Right.
they can't debate with facts. They can just debate and tell people a whole bunch of lies, but they can't debate with me.
Right. And Kyle, and I think that so what you said is really, really great. And we look forward to watching your work. But I think that we even have a bigger issue, even when it comes to just healthcare, right? Because now that the federal government is taking away so much, the Medicaid, the Medicare, and which now affects the elderly, right? Because most
Absolutely.
elderly people, when they retire or when they get Medicaid or Medicare, and even the young ones, but when they take away those benefits from those folks, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
And then now you have another issue compiled on the fact that they're already getting this poor health care, even with what they have, and now they're not even going to have the resources to. So I just think we're in for a ride, but I think that I love the fact that you're on the ground, boots on the ground, helping.
Yeah, boots on the
And
ground,
I
yeah.
just, my last question, and I'm going to turn it over to the crew because I talk too much. is-
Because can I say one thing about that too? Given that I'm a healthcare
Yeah.
practitioner, healthcare, I love this, and I love the fact that we having this session, Kyle. They told me a couple of days ago you were coming up, and I was like, oh wow, good, we got a politician. So even what people don't realize is that those Medicare and Medicaid cuts do impact the middle class and the working class. And I know Kyle is talking about protecting the rights of middle class and working class as well, because anything that comes down the pipe under healthcare, your private insurance will be impacted as well,
Yep.
because they get subsidies from Medicare and Medicaid.
Yes.
So people who are working, when you hear Medicare and Medicaid and you think it's not you, that's
Exactly,
not
Tasha.
true, because guess what's going to happen is your deductibles go up,
Yep.
your co-payments go up.
Yep.
It does impact everyone all the way.
Everybody.
Yeah.
The
We gotta
110%
have
right.
to go back to this bipartisan place that we used to be at, and not this dividing place, because
Right.
we're all Americans. And like Kyle had the statistic, I feel like mostly, what is it, the top 1% of people are rich, so 99% of us got to work,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely,
And so
absolutely.
these cuts impact us long term as well. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there, because there's so much misinformation out
Yep.
there, and people always think it's not going to get to me, it's not going to get to me. But then you pick up, it's time for open enrollment, and now you got to pick a plan, and it's your now more money is coming out your paycheck.
And
So
you,
it's
and
the
you,
small taxes
And you
on
know what's
people
so
as well.
funny, Tasha? Well, not funny, but you know what's real is that in working for the federal government for 29 years and in benefits, when you turn age 65 as a federal employee, you've been paying for Social Security and Medicare your whole career. So at
Yeah.
65, you are entitled to Medicare Part A automatically. You can apply for it. You've paid for it. It's yours. But you're right. That impacts everybody, not just the black and brown people, not just the marginalized people. Anybody who touches Medicare at age 65, and some get it before 65, and that's a whole nother conversation. But we have to be mindful that those cuts are going to impact us also. Because as a retiree in the federal government, if you have Medicare, and you have your health plan from the federal government, when you retire, it's the Medicare that pays first. And then they don't pay the health benefits. So just imagine now all of these rates are increasing, your co-pays are increasing, your medicine is increasing. So I thank you for that. You're right, it does impact all of us. But Kyle, my last question, and then like I said, I'm gonna turn it over. How can we help? I mean, certainly I'm not running for Congress. I don't want to be the Attorney General. I got bigger plans, I got bigger fish to fry. How can people help? Like, what can your average folks do to help?
One thing I want to just say, we need to educate the people around us. Educate our because that's what I feel like, especially in our community, right? Especially amongst black people. What I've seen is, and I hate to place blame, but I'm kind of blaming, like, Gen X and baby boomers, because I feel like I feel like people, millennials and Gen Z, they haven't been educated on the actual fight. Like the actual, they don't. A lot of people, I would say a lot of black people 40 and under don't even know the history of the civil rights movement,
right?
And the history of just ended slavery. Like a lot of these people probably can't even tell you who Frederick Douglass is.
Which is so
Frederick
unfortunate.
Douglass thing, but I think it seems like after the civil rights movement, that generation, like my parents' generation and my grandparents' generation, they were the generation that had to do all of the fighting and everything like that. But then it was like, all right, and now that black people we never got equal treatment, of course.
But better treatment, a little bit better treatment.
Better treatment. It was like they kind of laxed off. It didn't educate the kids, as now I'm blessed. Like, again, I had a mother who was a educator. So she would take us on trips. I mean, I went to my first trip to the Black Wax Museum down in Baltimore, Maryland, when I was like 10 years old. I hadn't been there like 10 times, So I learned, and actually going to school, I could even say some of the white teachers that I had in Rawway, being that Rawway was such a diverse town, they did teach accurate history. But you see now, the federal government
is trying to do away with it. Yes.
They pretty much did
erasure.
Away with it. They ain't trying. They trying.
Erasure.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they had Ron DeSantis down in Florida trying to teach kids that African Americans actually benefited from slavery. Right. And it's like,
that's
so,
crazy.
and it really just does a disservice to the whole country, because not just black people, but white people, everybody, because they don't even know, so then when black people bring up racism or anything like that, they're like, what are you even talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no such thing.
Right. And what I want to say also, too, is because a lot of times with politics, people think, oh, you're not supposed to talk politics, you're not supposed to talk religion, things like that. But we have to talk politics because politics affects everything we do. And it's like that old school thinking has to go.
Exactly, yeah.
We have to get on board. We got to be involved. We got to represent like what you're doing.
Yeah,
And the other thing is too, we have to educate us up to. When I was little, I read Frederick Douglass. I read Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I was an avid reader. I wanted to know about my history, and I think it's important that we continue to teach the kids. I don't care, nieces, nephews, grandkids. Tell them about your history.
Tell our oral history.
I have all of these books at home that I will never throw away. Maya Angelou, I know Why the Cage, but I will never throw my books away.
And as far as voting, I always voted because our ancestors couldn't. And then when they finally got the right, they fought for it. That's what made me want to run to the polls every time. I might not necessarily knew the candidate. Like now I'm glad we're getting to meet you, per se. But, tell us a little more about how can we vote? Like, when does that happen? Primaries happen next year for Congress?
Primaries happen next year,
Because remember, guys, November this year for New Jersey, the governor. November 4th.
Exactly, yeah.
But go ahead, tell us about that. How
primaries
does that work?
happen every year for every election.
Okay.
Just like the Democratic and Republican primaries were earlier back in June.
Yes.
That's why we could have, had Raz Baraka's people came out, more people. But, Mikey Sherrill, she won the primary.
Right.
And now she's now the Democratic nominee for governor.
Right.
So now it doesn't
and
matter.
just
have
so
to get
our
behind her.
Facebook and family, Facebook and YouTube family knows, Mikey Sherry won. It's because you either didn't vote or did vote in the primary election.
Yeah, or voted for her.
Right. Either you did vote for her, you didn't vote for her, or you didn't vote at all. She is now our candidate running for governor. So that is why it is so important that you vote, because your vote counts. And when you don't vote, you voted.
Right. And when is the primary for the Congress?
So that's next year. So that would be next June.
Okay, so you got to come back too.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. I'll be around, like I said. Yeah, I'll be back. But yeah, next June, I believe it's June 2nd. But yeah, so that's when you vote for the best person in your each party, and that's what drives me crazy, because I feel like people are not aware or educated on these things, because people are always like, oh, well, we only have two choices, it's the Democrat or Republican, but you're supposed to go out in the primaries and pick the best candidate for your party.
Right. The best Democrat and the best Republican.
Exactly.
And the primaries are more important than the general election, if you ask me, right? And I think one other caveat to add is that maybe people don't understand that if it's a Democratic candidate, only the Democrats can vote. So if you want that candidate, don't think the Republican people could vote. So if it's a Democratic primary, only the Democratic people could vote for that candidate in the primaries. Just again, if it's a Republican candidate, only the Republican people could vote for that primary, that primary. So people don't understand that you say, oh, I just wait for the general election. And then it sounds like I don't know much about New Jersey politics, because again, we got our own stuff going on right now in New York for the mayor. Our mayor election is worldwide.
We saw your mayor bowed out.
He bowed out.
He needed to. But I'm not gonna say that. We ain't gonna get in that, right? He needed to, so he don't split the vote. So New York always got something going on. But I think people get confused because they sit back and be like, oh, this is the primaries, and then in the primaries you don't get the candidate you want, and now you stuck with the candidate. Right. So it's really important to recognize that those is, if not more important than the general election, if you really want to have your voice heard.
Absolutely.
So if we didn't learn anything else, we definitely learned that.
Yeah. To add to that real quick. Now, if you're an independent voter, I don't know how it is in New York, but I know if you're an independent in the state of New Jersey, you can't vote in either.
Right.
It's the same in New York. It's the same in New York.
Right. Yeah, there's only certain states where independents are allowed to come out, I get it. Like, if you don't want to be associated with either party, but also you at the same time you do yourself a disservice, because you then only give yourself that choice of voting Democrat or Republican.
That's right.
So when it does come to the general election, so if you are independent in New Jersey, which there's more independents than anybody across the country, I think
Because they don't want to be associated
they
with a
don't wanna be
party.
associated with a party, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get it, but I want to fully be in the process.
Right.
You know? I'm a Democrat, and I'm not gonna leave the Democratic Party because I want to be able to have my voice heard in the primaries, so that I can vote for the candidate that I want to vote for.
Right,
You know?
right. Great job.
Did
Hey,
you wanna say
Clarence. Hi, Chucky. Hi, Shelly
'Cause I know
Shell.
we have like maybe a few more minutes left with Kyle.
Well, this will be quick, but it's major.
Okay.
And I have this written down because I want you to address this. Because I don't think people really realize what is such a serious moment at this. Well, I don't think people realize it. But I just ask you, you describe yourself as an outspoken and progressive. What does being a fighter against fascism mean to you in practical terms?
Pushing back against the Trump administration. And that's the reason that I'm running, because I feel like the Democratic Party has not pushed back enough. Okay. And I'm a double minority. I'm black. I'm openly gay. I'm like, I have to push back against Donald Trump. You know, I'm not only openly gay, but I'm married. And we talk about health care, right? So somebody already went to the Supreme Court trying to overturn same-sex marriage. Now, I'm a small business owner. So, of course, I'm on my husband's health insurance. My husband's a mailman. He gets some good health insurance. He gets some good benefits.
I know.
So I'm like, now, if my marriage is overturned, then I go back to what? Am I going to be paying $800 a month in health care?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and for the Democratic Party, they're not going to fight enough. Like, you know, all right, I'll just give you an example. First of all, nobody's going to fight for the LGBTQ community like somebody actually in our community. Nobody's going to fight for black people, but like black people are. For instance, what we just had the shooting with Charlie Kirk, right? Now, 95 Democrats, voted with the Republicans to basically honor Charlie Kirk. This Charlie Kirk Day of Remembrance.
That's terrible.
And Jasmine Crockett, I love Jasmine Crockett.
I was gonna say Jasmine Crockett and Westmore for 2028 president. Let's go.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. Yes, that's the ticket. But she had went on the news and she was saying, she was disappointed because she saw that those votes, even though it was only 2 Caucasian people who voted with them. Most of the people who voted no on that were the people of color who are Democrats. So I'm like, we need more representation. People who are going to fight for us.
That's it.
And I even feel like some of the black people, that are in Congress right now, they're fighters, but they're not fighters enough.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not the one.
Right.
So like,
we need to hear those
if
voices.
you are being racist, I will call you a racist to your face and not be embarrassed about it. If you're saying something homophobic or transphobic, I'm going to call you out on it in public, in front of everybody. Like I don't really play with that because those things affect me personally.
Yeah.
So I felt like I really need to get out there.
I think at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Yes.
We love it. And we definitely are going to have you back so we can hear more about what you are going to do for I'm playing.
Okay, so let me say one of our YouTube listeners. Kyle, just to give you more encouragement, one of our YouTube listeners chimed in, who is my auntie, and she's told me to mention to you that boots on the ground is what we have to do, because back in the 70s, and Sabrina will remember this, my grandmother and our Aunt Margaret, who's an extended family member, marched through Harlem for housing rights and affordable housing for New Yorkers. So all of this stuff that people see about affordable housing and ownership in New Yorkers started with a small group and organization called West Harlem. And
I worked there. I worked there.
Right. Most of the family did. We had our boots on the ground back then too. So when you look at these affordable buildings coming up, that started with a black woman who was saying, this is no good. We're not doing gentrification. And people in Harlem back in the 60s and 70s got together for affordable housing. So she wanted me to shout that out to give you encouragement. Let you know it does matter and it makes a difference.
It happens. It works when we come together. I love that.
That's the bottom line.
We have to.
Got to work together.
And black women are my top, almost like my top priority.
Hello.
I'm like, I got a black mama, a sister that's 25. Like, we're 12 years apart, so a sister that's 25 years old. She wants to have kids in a couple years. I'm like,
Yeah,
you know,
support.
and with black women dying of childbirth, God forbid, you know, she was having complications with her pregnancy. I want her to be able to get the reproductive care that she needs.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They don't realize we hurt too. You know,
Mhm.
it's not like
absolutely.
we're strong, but we still hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff, Kyle. I just want to say
wait,
thank you.
One more thing.
You
One
go
more
ahead.
thing.
You
Yes,
say it.
go
Because the brothers, I got to talk to the brothers.
Talk to
because
him. Talk to
when
him, Kyle.
I told you this the other day, Michelle, but I said when it comes to black voters, black women are 64% of the vote.
Okay.
What is going on with us while we're not getting out there?
Brothers, you might want to chime in. Send us
Terry?
something in the chat.
Hey, I'm there. I'm there. Okay.
Come on, black men. We love you. We need you.
No.
We want more black men. There's some.
No,
but
yeah,
we
we
want
want
more.
more.
We want more.
Yes. Thank you
Thank you
so much, Kyle. That was
excellent.
informative.
That was amazing.
We look forward to the work that you are going to do and the impact that you are going to make on this world. And it's an honor to have you sitting
Thank
with us.
you. I'll be
An
back.
honor. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Kyle.
Woo!
Unless you have to go.
Oh, I don't have to go.
All right, now it's time for part two.
Time for the
All right, who wants to talk? Cause I can't do it. I'm about to cry. I can't do it.
You don't need to cry.
Okay.
Here go the tissues.
All right.
I said there would be some announcements.
Mhm.
Oh,
And,
okay.
The announcements. Well, I'm going to go to the golden link because she knows all the tea. And,
Go ahead, Golden Link.
what's going on. And it hurts me to even hear this.
Oh, well, I think we told you guys last week, right?
Tell
To
him
our
one more
listeners.
again. Tell him one more
I
time.
refuse to accept it.
Okay.
Terry's in 6 seconds. It's not gonna happen.
Okay. So again, we thank you guys for rocking with us all this time. We're so excited. We love S.I.T podcast, Sisters Inspiring Transformation. You have to have the conversations for the transformation, and that's what we're doing here. So it's very important to continue to tune in. We're going to take just a little hiatus, but we're going to be back. And then the good news, Terry, is that we're going to have replays. Like they're going to show our previous episodes. I think I said this already, Terry, right? I'm repeating myself. All right. So basically, that's it. So we're going to spend some time with our family. Sabrina's going to be a grandma. Right, so
Again.
a grandma again, yay! And then of course, mom is on hospice at home, so I'll spend more time with her. And then my 2 children and my nieces and nephews and things like that.
We're gonna have
Especially-
Tasha behind the scenes just doing all the work that we do.
All the work that she's been doing.
Yeah. Oh, especially that brings me to the holidays. So we'll be home for the holidays for Thanksgiving. Everybody take out your book.
Okay.
We're gonna do a challenge for
put
November.
put your books
Put your books up. Where your
That's
books are,
mine.
Brad? Here
You
go your
took
book.
it.
Here go your book. Here go your book.
Everybody can
All
have
right.
a book.
So this book is on Amazon. It's called Grandma Pauline is a Queen, and we're going to do a challenge in November. Now Sabrina's going to talk about the 90-day challenge. So we got a lot of things lined up for you guys starting next week.
Yeah.
Starting next week. But in November, I'll just chime in about November. So Grandma Pauline is a Queen. It's a beautiful family book. It has beautiful illustrations, nice rhyming words for the kids. It has animals. Children love animals, as well as recipes. So I want you guys to get it. The challenge for November is to make it for your Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
All right? So that's the challenge.
And we want everybody to DM us, send us messages on the recipes that you made and how they came out.
Yes, and then go on social media, do
And
your
post your
live,
pictures.
Post your pictures and tell us your favorite one. Because it's a couple of recipes. I'm not going
I'm
to give
gonna
it
make
away.
the fried chicken.
You going to make the fried chicken? Okay, I ain't going to give away the rest of the recipes. You got to go online and get it. And thank you so much to all the people who have it. So a lot of people have family libraries already. They love to include it because it represents us, okay? So that's us as a people. So and our history, because I know we want to eat better, but for Thanksgiving we're gonna have some soul food, okay? So y'all make sure y'all send those pictures in of your favorite, and feel free to tweak the recipes. So that's all I got for November and December. Enjoy, the holidays, festivities as well.
Well, before we continue, I just want to say thank you to my Facebook family. I love you all. Thank you to my YouTube family. I love you all. You guys have showed up and showed out for us every week. You've engaged with us. You sent us some good feedback.
Yes.
Y'all sent some nasty ones too. I ain't gonna lie. That one hurt my feelings, but that's okay because I'm good. You know, I'm tough. I can deal with it.
Oh, and don't forget to finish those letters too. Keep sending us.
Yeah.
Those
So
letters.
please keep sending a letter. But I just want to say thank you to my host and my guest host and my co-host and my. So for Michelle, I just want to say, Michelle, thank you so much for showing up and showing out every week. I want you to hold this plant while I go. I want you to hold this while I'm gone, and I want when I come back. Yes, I want you to take care of it.
You while you're here.
Yes.
Okay.
And for Terry, I know you love books so much, so we are going to give you a gift card to get you a book. And to Natasha, you have a special gift. I think you should look around you.
Oh, let's look around.
Yes, I think it's coming now.
Got a special gift.
But you can't see it. It's beautiful roses. There we go.
These gifts are for you guys because, like I said, you showed up every week through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you came and we had an amazing show, and it was awesome. Like Michelle said, we are going to be on hiatus for 3 months. Each of us have things we need to do, but we're still going to be working behind the scenes to ensure that when we come back in January, we got some surprises. One of the things we're going to do is, do I have my book? Is we are going to have a Rediscovering Your Worth challenge. So as most of you know, I've written the book called Rediscovering Your Worth. And in January, we're going to talk about the book, and we're going to be giving out prizes. So if you don't have the book, go on Amazon.com, order the book, because we are going to talk about it for the month of January, Rediscovering Your Worth, what it means, because we're coming back in 2026, a new person. We are going to leave 2025 behind, and we're going to show up as a new person in 2026. I should say our authentic selves in 2026. So buy the book. We're going to be giving out some amazing gifts, prizes, and money. I heard Michelle say $1,000. Hell,
I ain't say
I might do it myself.
No, there's a disclaimer. Sabrina telling lies.
And so the other thing I want you guys to really think about getting is the journal that Christian Fields designed and created and developed. This is also on Amazon.com. And as you go through the Rediscovering Your Worth book, there's some actionable items that you need to do that requires a journal. So these two are perfect together. And don't forget, we're going to be giving out gifts and prizes because I'm going to ask you some things about the book and how you dealt with it. All right. And then the last thing I want to say, and then I'm going to turn it over to everybody else because I know I talk too much.
We like hearing
While
you.
we are on sabbatical, like Michelle said, we are still going to show our old episodes. Some of them, as you know, were phenomenal and funny. My favorite show was the one where I told Michelle, what you gonna do when Tyler give you the call, and she said she gonna stay, and I was like, not me, I'm going. And ironically, I am gonna be going, but that's neither here nor there. But we are also going to have some challenges beginning October 6th through the 12th. And again, I want you guys to DM us because these challenges we're going to send you guys gifts and prizes as you interact with us. For the week of October 6th through the 12th, we want you to write down 3 things you love about yourself that has nothing to do with looks or money. You're going to put it in your journal. You're going to write it on a piece of paper. But more importantly, you're going to send it to somebody you love on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Write down 3 things you love about yourself that has nothing to do with looks or money. That's for the week of October 6th through the 12th. And I'm going to have flyers on my Facebook page. Michelle is going to have them on hers, and Natasha's going to have them on hers. Terry's going to have it on his. Just to remind you guys where we are with the challenge. So week 1 is October 6th through the 12th. Write down 3 things you love about yourself that has nothing to do with looks or money. And then tag a friend. We all need love. We all need love. And then the following week, I'll post some more stuff on my Facebook and Instagram page so you'll know what the second challenge is. All right, Shell, anything you want to say?
No. I mean, Sabrina comes with receipts,
Yeah.
but not that $1,000 one. I don't know what she talking about that.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. But the agenda, she has it all spelled out for every week, so it's all detailed. So you guys, please be on the lookout for some social media posts, some flyers. You guys know I love the flyers. I just post flyers, but hopefully I do a little more than flyers because I'm going to be working on my 90-day get back too. So, yeah.
Terry?
Well, I got a few short things to say. Number one, I'm going to miss you, Sabrina. I'm going to miss you and miss Michelle.
Miss you too, Terry.
3 months, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
That is
but
It's gonna go by fast.
I know the things that will be happening. Also, I want to say something that's not on the script here.
Aww.
But I want to say this, and I want to say it in front of Kyle. One of the things as black people, we have to do this more so than ever. We have to include everybody.
Yes.
And I mean everybody. Okay? Everybody. He shared some things that surprised me tonight. I didn't know. Now I know, but it's okay. Okay? And I want you to know that you are welcome on this program.
Thank you.
I have a program called Portuguese Speaking. You will be on that program because we need to continue
The
this
conversation.
dialogue and this
Absolutely.
conversation. Because
Absolutely.
there is no way we're going to get through this time unless we work together.
Absolutely.
Okay, as a family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We are family.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So our little community just going on vacation for a little bit, but we'll be back. We're still gonna be working behind the
Keep it
scenes.
hold
Yeah.
down.
Talk to us, Tasha.
Yeah, go
Talk,
ahead, Tasha.
Tasha.
Let's see what
Talk,
Tasha
Tasha.
wants to say. Come on, Tasha.
Tasha.
You know, while we are having transformation as we speak, we are going to transform, and I'm actually excited about the hiatus because when one door closed, many more open. It's going to give us time to come together and, like you said, come back so much more powerful for 2026. Because what I'm also seeing is that, as thank you for Kyle for being such courageous and going to go out and fight for our rights and be there
Yes.
and make it to Congress, right? We're going to support him as far as we can take him, right? Because people are struggling. And now, I'll say something, close after Terry saying this. I'm like, okay, what I'm going to say now? But the reality is people are struggling. And I think we bring a service here where people can listen, give them skills, give them things to talk about, things to think about so that they can remain healthy. Because we are in some challenging times. And if we lose our mental fortitude and our social abilities, we're going to be left far behind as well. So we have to stay strong mentally. And I thank you guys for having me up here to support the community in that way. So I look forward to us planning over the next 3 months for what 2026 will look like, because we're going to need to have some mental fortitude built in our community.
Yes, and we will have that. We will really work behind the scenes to ensure that when we come back in 2026, the topics will be, they'll hit home. And like I said, my biggest takeaway is the love, right? The environment that we provide is also for love. Because I think that's a lot of what's missing in the world today as well.
That's all I wanted to give you today. Was some and you too. Look, Terry and Kyle.
Let's make it.
Look at Terry.
I want some of that.
I bet he does, y'all. I bet he does. Ain't getting to everybody.
No, but that's what I like about our show. Okay, when we first started this show back in March, the producer here, Norm, who owns the studio, shout out to him, Trish, and Jeff, who helped keep the show running.
Woo,
Yes.
BKS1.
Yes.
Hold on, y'all just started this show in March?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And he said that Sabrina and I would do a show that he thought would be very informative and very fun. And so far, that's exactly what I think it is.
And
It's
we
very
hope that's what we
informative,
brought to
and it's very fun.
our Facebook and YouTube community.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so sad.
Tissues. Yeah, I brought you some tissues. That's it.
3 months, Terry. 3 months.
She said about the next few months going to be a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
I know.
That's
right. They don't realize it though, but
That makes a difference.
Sabrina does a lot of work behind the scenes.
My
A lot
eyelashes
of
is
hard work.
falling off.
She got to print out all our papers.
I do. You know what? Can y'all buy me a pack of papers? Because I have a whole setup.
So you need $1,000.
I have a whole setup. I got 3 big monitors. I got my laptop. I got an office.
I'll bring some over here.
Oh, thank
We're
you.
supposed to be helping you, Kyle.
We help each other.
On that note, can
All
I?
right, so they gonna block your blessing.
I need my
Kyle McCall, make sure you work
Kyle.
your papers.
I got you on
It's
some
all
paper.
family. It's all family.
Yeah, we all family.
On that note, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
To everybody. Donations for my campaign.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I don't have the support right now of the Democratic Party.
Right.
Being that I am a first time candidate, and I don't want to accept any corporate PAC money. So I'm gonna be, depending on small donors, everyday working people. Any amount is appreciated. $10, $20, any amount helps, But I do need to raise a lot of money for this
So
campaign.
where can we send that? Where can
You
we
got it
send
right.
money?
So yeah, I have a website, www.kylelittleforcongress.com. And you'll be able to see the donation right as soon as you pop up on the front page. You'll be able to donate any amount you want.
Say the website
Yeah,
again.
please.
So it's www.kylelittleforcongress.com.
Right.
And then I also have, that'll lead you to my ActBlue account, but I also have an ActBlue account. I don't know if I'm able to give you the link, but if you're able to share the link, that'll lead you right to the
And you know what,
account
Kyle, we're friends, so make sure you give it to us on Facebook and
Yeah,
Instagram,
absolutely.
so we can and Natasha, and so we could all post it on our pages as well, so we can get everybody can see it, and be able to donate.
Of course.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah,
stuff.
the donations just help me get there.
And
it
if there's
helps
any
us get
sponsors
there,
listening now, if there's any sponsors,
sponsors,
Kyle Little.
And we got to keep going too.
Right.
So we have our cash app.
Just said he ain't gonna get it all.
Sit Podcast 1.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Sit Podcast 1. So you give him 5 and us 5.
We split it.
No, we gonna work together.
We'll work together, definitely. I love it. I love it.
important. That's
YouTube family, Facebook family, I haven't heard from you. Any questions, any comments, any concerns before we depart for our 3-month sabbatical?
Yeah, so our cousin Richie wanted to let Kyle know that our children are seeking financial literacy and independence. That's the new
Yes.
generation.
Yeah.
And that is really true because, I think I read something about 5 years ago that said by 2030, like more than 50% of the population will be self-employed. So
Right.
I think, that's
No,
probably
that's
what
right.
cousin Richie is speaking to.
Yeah.
And Kyle, you're a small business owner, so you know about that.
Absolutely. And that's another thing. We're going back to education. I'm like, why don't they teach financial literacy, especially to like high school?
They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They want to
Yeah.
keep everybody dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They just want to keep
That's
everybody
why
dumb.
we have to do
We
our
have to
part.
right. If we just educate the people around us, and then that will then
Start with you.
absolutely.
Start with you. Start with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Chuck said good content. Thank you, Chuck. Arthur said, Kyle, do you have a sponsor?
Do I have a sponsor? No.
Oh,
He
that's
said
my
no.
cousin. He about to.
He
hook
said
you
no,
up.
Arthur.
Arthur, what's up?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Graham. We're going to miss you, too.
By mistake.
Woo! Well, I guess about that time, so I guess we're going to have to say our
Now I'm
goodbyes.
gonna cry.
Give me some tissue.
There's no more tissue.
I think I
Sabrina.
used
You
them all.
small.
Wait.
Before y'all leave, I just want to say thank
Oh,
y'all so much for having me on the last show of the year. I love that, and thank you for having
Yes,
me.
Yes,
Aw,
yes,
thank
and you'll
you.
Be back next year with
Absolutely.
us.
All
Yes,
right.
We got a lot of good stuff coming up next year. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And Sabrina's movie, Rediscovering Your Worth, based on her
Yes,
book.
Look for that.
Okay.
Yes, so
okay,
we
yeah.
got a lot of good things.
2026.
I'm
a lot
her
of good
new
things.
manager.
She going to get fired on her day off.
Already on my day off. Oh, don't say that.
All right, family,
All right,
Facebook,
so we ready
YouTube,
for
we
our
love
song?
you. Tasha,
Yes,
Love
this
you
is not a
guys.
goodbye, but
Yes,
it's a
no,
see
it's
you
not.
soon. We'll see
Yes,
you later.
yes.
And
All
you
right.
know what,
Yes.
Kyle, we're gonna post your I'm gonna post Kyle's link for donations on my Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes.
And do you mind if we post your video too?
Oh,
We
go
could
ahead, post
post the video.
away.
We
Yes.
will.
Post
All
away.
right. So we give me some content, Cal, because I'm the newest one to the social media. I'm the old head.
I'm
So
right
nothing about
behind
social
her.
media.
I'm right
Natasha,
behind her.
anybody
Yes.
who's known me for a while, you would know I'm not camera shy. So anything
Yes.
you can
All
post,
right. All
whatever
right.
you want.
All right, we're gonna
Okay.
get you.
I just got to make sure I learn how to tag you. So I got to call give my daughter a call so I can tag you.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank
We've
you.
been
We've been strong for so long. Now it's time to rise.